Hey up everyone, welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor Channel. I'm Vaz. Do you know what time it is? It's time to start talking eVTOLs. I hope you can tell that I've done some upgrades to my little humble studio. Hopefully the quality is better. I've also done some upgrades to my face as well, as you can tell. So hopefully you don't mind seeing me in this fashion going forward, if you pardon the pun. I would like to tell you some news, great news, for Archer Aviation, or about Archer Aviation. Well, let's get on with that, shall we? Archer Aviation, on the day of their earnings call, 27th Feb, they announced their launch edition, which is basically a program that should target some early market adopters. This will be targeting markets which are more relaxed in terms of certification and air traffic safety. So, which is Africa, Mid East, probably some parts of Asia. This launch edition is not intended for America, North America. This is not intended for Europe and probably for Far East Asia either. But this is a great thing. I will talk about it later. So we got announced on the day of earnings call that their first customer will be Abu Dhabi Aviation. And recently, on the 27th of March, we got announced that Ethiopian Airlines have closed or have signed agreement to deploy Midnight under the launch edition program. So again, we have customer number 2. This is great news. I will break this down for you right now. Why is it great news? Because we are generating revenue, and we are generating revenue as early as this year, which for me as an investor is a good sign. That Archer are pushing. They are not waiting for anything. They are not waiting for their certification. They are just going for it because they can target certain markets. This video is going to be about quickly reiterating the launch edition. I'll deal with Abu Dhabi Aviation. I'll deal with Ethiopian Airlines. I'll give you some positives. I'll give you a few negatives, and I will tell you my own take on Archer as a stock. This video is dated 31st of March 2025. Sometimes it happens, I make a video and literally by the time the video comes out next day, things are changing or there are some updates. And also if I make a video, I sometimes miss a bit of information, and this bit of information comes out in next few days, and then people are rewatching this video and they are thinking, why didn't you say this, why didn't you say that? So that's just to make this clear, a little disclaimer, so we can relate to this date. So the launch edition is sort of, I don't want to say simplified version, but it's the pre-operational version of the vehicle. Their intention is to target dozens of early adopters markets. As I already mentioned, markets which are not under the FAA, the CAA, the EASA, the Asian regulatory bodies, which are more relaxed in terms of regulation and safety. So Archer, I can imagine these deals will be fairly similar for all their clients under this launch edition. I can imagine we can see similar cooperation or agreement coming out every month now. It wouldn't surprise me if by the end of the year we have at least half a dozen of new agreements, if not a dozen. That only depends on Archer. So I'll deal with Abu Dhabi Aviation. It is allegedly $20 million deal. which consists of, I dare to say, 10 vehicles. I couldn't find any information on on the day of their earnings call, or on their earnings call. They disclosed that Archer are intending to manufacture 10 vehicles by the 2025 and supply or provide these to Abu Dhabi Aviation. But it was never confirmed. Subject of this contract is 10 vehicles. Surely we will find out in next few weeks or months, but it's a bit, it was a bit vague. There was not much information disclosed. We can be expecting delivery as early as end of 2025, hopefully. And this contract will be on wet lease basis. Wet lease basis is a contract for the aircraft providers or airlines where you provide your aircraft, your staff, which is pilots, probably your onboard staff, your mechanics, your ground staff to a certain degree. You provide service, maintenance, and upgrades. That's basically what wet lease is. Dry lease, on the other hand, is you just provide a vehicle. And then you have hybrid leases or corporations. But wet lease basis, basically this is what the contract consists of. Archer will provide their own pilots, they will provide their own mechanics, they will provide necessary training to other auxiliary staff, they will provide service and maintenance, including probably spare parts as well. So this is good news, or this is great, because we are gaining a lot of information from this. Not only from the operations, from the actual flight, but we are gaining a lot of feedback on maintenance, on repairs, service, you name it. Then a few days ago, we got 30 million deal with Ethiopian Airlines. Again, not much information disclosed. I couldn't find how many vehicles is involved. But again, on the same basis, wet lease. I'm calling it wet lease. It's not wet lease, but it's on wet lease basis. So we are providing pilots, mechanics, and relevant ground staff, and we are providing service and maintenance. Again, undisclosed number of vehicles. The target, or the point of this deal, is that Ethiopian Airlines are trying to develop air taxi network in the region. And also they intend to explore other cases of use like ecotourism and so on. I think it's a bit too early to make these statements, but we will see. Again, not much information disclosed. We are in early stage of this cooperation. This will be probably first, maybe second quarter of 2026. But it's good news because we have our first customers. Speaking of good news, positives of these two contracts, we are on a massive front foot to the market. If you compare Archer to its peers, nobody has started supplying the vehicles to their customers, apart from EHang, but EHang is a bit different topic. So yeah, we are on the massive front foot. We have great advantage. We start collecting operational data probably early next year from multiple vehicles. As I mentioned in one of my previous videos, you can have 1 billion test flight hours, and guaranteed on the first operational flight, something happens you haven't tested for. So this is amazing. The sooner you get your vehicles out and flying and carrying passengers outside of your testing ground, you are generating and collecting priceless data. I was going to say it was pre-revenue, since it was only one contract with Abu Dhabi, but now we have cooperation with second client or second customer, and as I said, there will be probably every month we will get a new new cooperation disclosed. So as of now, we have $50 million locked in revenue, or up to $50 million. Amazing. Archer are starting generating revenue this year. Amazing. You can see the company is pushing. They are driven to start getting money in and start selling their vehicles. We can also see potential expansion of these existing contracts, whether it's the launch edition. No doubt there will be some clauses where you can activate that you can hire more, you can order more vehicles. You might be put forward on the order book as well based on this contract. Again, this was not disclosed, but I can imagine there'll be some very fancy caveat and clauses that will be attractive to the customer. If not, you can build, as I said, you can build a new contract on top of this when we come to the operational version or certification version, if you want to call it this way. And not as part of this cooperation, this contract or these contracts, but we are opening secondary revenue channel. That means once this contract will 100% be limited. There will be time span, whether it's 6, 12, 18 months, 24, I don't know. But once this finishes, you will be extending your contract. That means you will be generating money for whether it's pilot provision or pilot training, which Archer can do because they achieved their 141 certification from FAA. That means they can train their own pilots or they can train pilots for someone. You will be providing mechanics and relevant ground crew, and you'll be charging and providing service, maintenance, upgrades, spare parts, you name it. Well, it's also important, we have the proof of concept. We can show as early as beginning of next year. You can show our vehicles can fly. They can take 4 passengers and their luggage, and they can fly certain distance. Priceless, again. Also, one of the positives is incentive to upscale our production capabilities. Speaking of more and more customers, we will need to manufacture more and more vehicles. As of now, Archer, they claimed, or their intention is to manufacture up to 10 vehicles by the end of the year. For next year, we will have to scale up. This is one of the reasons why they got into cooperation with Palantir, not only to develop a new, the new autonomous module that will fly the vehicle itself eventually, but also to aid them with the efficiency of their production plant in Georgia. And also we are getting amazing PR. No doubt this will get so much attention across the whole world. That will be massive for Archer. So again, well done Archer, you are on a massive front foot. Negatives, I try to be reasonable and objective and unbiased. I could find only few. One of them is you are putting off customers on which you have already on your order book, but I don't think they are bound with any contracts. But it's just, it can, if this goes for that long and we have some delay with certification, I can imagine some of the customers might lose their patience and probably turn to some of the peers. Probably, I don't know. It's one of the potential negatives I can find. What is big negative for me, it's probably the biggest negative, is we are selling low margin product. You are trying to get your vehicles out and you are trying to put an attractive price tag on it because it's not a complete product. We don't have the certification complete. We are still in development phase, or we are still developing the product. So you want to put some incentive on this. Archer, last year, they disclosed the vehicle price will be $5 million. As you can tell from the prices of these contracts, it's definitely not 5 million. It'll be probably half the price. So I can imagine we're not going to be generating any profit from these contracts, but we are probably breaking even on these contracts. Our staff, who are trained pilots and ground staff and mechanics, they're just not sitting around, they are working, and we are gaining loads of feedback and loads of data, which I think sort of makes up for this negative. The only thing I can see, if Archer managed to spread themselves too thin with this launch edition and they have 20, 30 partnerships like this, that can impact, then it can impact the revenue and the accounts. And one of them is also production upscaling pressure. Again, one of my things I've been seeing with Archer and Joby as well, there will be at least one public or private offering. We need to raise more funds to whether upscale our production or to keep our operations running. So this is again one more reason there will be one or two more offerings. And then my own take on Archer. I would like, before we get to that, may I just ask you to support my Twitter account, or X. There's a lot of information I can't squeeze, or I don't want to squeeze in the videos to keep them short and attractive. There's a lot of insights and updates I post on my X account. The handle is at eVTOL Hub, as you can see on the screen. This, not only that you will support me on my journey and on my growth, but you will also find these updates, news, insights. Sometimes I have healthy argument with people who challenge me, or sometimes I challenge somebody else. I like it. Yeah, it's going very well. I've got more interaction with Vertical Aerospace, which you can see on the screen next to me here. It's cropped, but yeah, definitely. If you like this sector, if you want to be in touch and with all updates, just follow my X account. I'll be very grateful. Thank you. And then if we go to my take or my strategy, it's my own strategy. Don't follow me on that. It's not a financial advice. It's only my own take. But I can see how the market is going. I can see how the market is going to be developing. So I might give you some great ideas. You can then do your own due diligence based on my ideas. So currently we have great buying opportunity. Archer was traded today, it was Monday, around $7. It might go up tomorrow, but it will still be good. Around $7. Archer, I think, is a very good price. If you feel you need to own some Archer, I would be buying for $7. I also bought for $7. I collected about 200 shares, 100 for long term, 100 for trade when the price goes back to $9. If the price goes back to $9, if not, I'm happy to hold it forever. Same with Joby. Around $6 is a great mark, is a great entry point for long-term holding, long-term position. I would like to collect, let me get this straight. To me, there's plenty of investment opportunities within the whole eVTOL market. I believe some of them will be even more attractive than Archer or Joby is at this point. So if I can't buy Archer for the price I want it, if I can't buy it sub $7, I'm not buying it. I'm not touching it. I've got now almost 300 shares. I'll be holding it. I'm happy with it. Before this dip, I had only 100 shares, and I was happy with it, holding it, because my target is 2030, and then I will revise it, or I will review and see if I will hold or if I'll sell some more. But I'm holding my position now until the first certification comes out, whether it's Joby or Archer. I can see the market is going to explode. So then I will trim my position, wait for the cool off or pullback, retraction, and then buy more and hold for next 4 or 5 years. What I've been saying for ages now, I still see the eVTOL market to cool off. I can see in next months there will be no news, there will be delays on certification, there will be something more attractive, that the eVTOL will not be as sexy for the retail investors, and the price will start cooling off. So there's something I'm definitely looking out for. Once this happens, I will load myself up. I'll be, I don't want to say all in, but my target for both Archer and Joby is 1,000 shares, and I will be happy with that position. I will have my money aside for that. I've currently invested in different positions, but I will have my money ready for it. So that's just my own take, my own strategy. It's not a financial advice. Hope you enjoyed this video. There is a recommended video from my playlist on eVTOLs. There is a recommended video from Martyn for you, or by YouTube. Hope you enjoyed this video. Take care of yourselves and each other.